Campus Center 316, Albany, New York 12222.
Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Boo! Happy Halloween, everybody. You're listening to a special Halloween edition of Brendan's 2 Cents. I'm Brendan Riley, your host. You can find me on Twitter at BRENDANS, the number 2 CENTS. And it's the end of October, which means tomorrow is November, which means that there's only 13 days away from my birthday, by the way, for everybody who's listening. And last night was a big night. A lot of different sports colliding at once. You got the Red Sox winning the World Series by beating the Cardinals 4-2. They didn't want exactly win in dramatic fashion. They got to the rookie Michael Wacha in the third inning, scored 6 runs by the fourth inning, and it's kind of over by then. They had so much momentum, it would have been impossible for the Cardinals to come back. You had the Knicks with their season opener beating the Bucks 90-83. You got to see a lot of new players and new jerseys. Some people impressed me, some people did not. The Brooklyn Nets found a way to lose to the measly Cavaliers 98-94. That game was pretty close to the end, but the Cavaliers found a way to pull it off. And you also had the Giants and Jets losing. You had the Giants winning. Pretty ugly game. Every week they seem to play. Just an awful football game to watch, just from a football perspective. They won 15-0 by kicking 5 field goals. And the Jets lost, and that was equally as bad to watch. I mean, it would have been more fun if you weren't a Jet fan because there were actual touchdowns scored in that game. But they lost 49-9 to the Bengals. A lot going on this weekend. But first, I'll start out with the Knicks win. They came up big when they needed to. They jumped out to a huge lead at halftime. They were up 50-31 at the half. They had a 19-point lead. The lead was as big as 25 at one point in this game. The Knicks kind of lost their edge a little bit, let the Bucks come back into this game, and it got close. The Bucks took a 1-point lead. It was 81-80 at one point, I believe, and then the Knicks turned on the defense, which is not something that's characteristic of the Knicks, especially under Mike Woodson, but Tyson Chandler looked healthy. He had 5 blocks, a couple of fouls, good hard game-changing fouls. Metta World Peace played very good defense all around, caused a bunch of different Bucks players to change shots that saved some buckets. And Amon Shumpert was also all over the floor. He did not have any steals, but the Knicks as a unit forced a lot of turnovers. They forced, let me see, I'm just going to bring it up right now. It was a very sloppy game. Both teams had over 20 turnovers each. The Knicks forced 23 turnovers, and however, they did turn the ball over 22 times. So that's 45 possessions that the game ended. Well, no, not the game. I mean, the play ended either in the other team's hands or out of bounds. I mean, you got to come to expect that in the first game of the season. In any sport, the first game of the season is probably going to be a little bit sloppy because you got to get your feet wet. So I'm not going to look too much into that. The players that stood out to me who played the best basketball last night, Tyson Chandler and Pablo Prigioni. Both posted a huge plus in a plus-minus stat. Chandler was a plus 18 and Prigioni was a plus 19. Prigioni was, when he was doing the full court press the entire game, causing distress in the backcourt of the Bucks, caused a lot of quick turnovers, and he's pesky. Nobody likes being defended by Pablo Prigioni. The Bucks were clearly getting frustrated. He hit his shots when he had them. He had multiple times where he could have taken the open shot, but Prigioni's style of play is that he prefers somebody else gets their shot even when he's wide open. He went 3 for 3 with 7 points, but he also had 5 assists, a couple rebounds, and 3 steals, which is big. And he posted a plus 19. Tyson Chandler had 10 rebounds, and Carmelo Anthony had 19 points and 10 rebounds. Didn't really score as much at least I was expecting. I was expecting the first game of the season that he was going to come out firing on all cylinders. Kind of disappeared in the fourth quarter until late. He had a tip in and maybe another bucket or two. But 19 points in a win is still a win. It's irrelevant to how many points Carmelo Anthony scores each game as long as the Knicks are winning. Tyson Chandler had 10 points, 6 rebounds. Biggest stat in the score box is 5 blocks. The Knicks were playing great defense, and they won the game with defense last night. The Bucks had just taken the lead, and then they're coming down the floor for their possession afterwards. And after the Knicks, I believe they had missed, and they got defensive rebound by the Bucks. They're coming down the floor, and really, really good defense by Pablo Prigioni and Tyson Chandler. They teamed up, caused a turnover. Fast break, transition. The Knicks played awesome transition offense all game. And it ended with a lob to Tyson Chandler. You felt the momentum swing back. I mean, it was in doubt a little bit. After the Bucks had come back 25 points, they felt like they were getting their momentum. However, they were not playing clean, disciplined basketball, so I was never really afraid that the Knicks were going to lose. But the Bucks certainly had more of the momentum at one point. Tyson Chandler, fast break, alley-oop from Raymond Felton. And the Knicks went up 82-81 and didn't look back from there. The Knicks' final score is 90-83. One person I was not impressed by was Andrea Bargnani. He posted a minus 11 and was also on the floor with Bino Udrih for most of his playtime. They both posted a negative 11 and a negative 12 in the plus-minus stat. Bargnani seems like for every good thing that he did 2 things that messed up the offense. Bargnani had 3 turnovers, but he was definitely more responsible for possessions that were unsuccessful than that. He only had 2 rebounds, and he went 3 for 9 from the field. Did not shoot efficiently, was constantly laying up bricks. He kind of looked lost out there. I'm kind of willing to give him a break because it is the first game of the season on a new team. But if that's going to be the norm from Bargnani, then he's going to have to sit on the bench because he did not do all that he could to help the Knicks. Hardaway and Metta World Peace both debuted as well. Metta World Peace, New York guy through and through, grew up in Queens, went to St. John's College. Of course, he's more famous for his Ron Artest personality, which was on Pacers and the Lakers, and then he evolved into Metta World Peace. But he's very excited to be a Knick. At the beginning of the game, he took the microphone to center court, and I got really excited because I thought he was going to sing the national anthem. But I guess for the best, he didn't. He's definitely a character, but characters aren't always bad as long as their character is helping the team win. And that's what Metta World Peace does. He's one of those guys that you hate him unless he's on your team. And that goes for the players. You don't want to play against him, but if you're playing with him, he's irreplaceable. He was all over the floor, brings the intensity on defense, veteran leadership, and that's what Mike Woodson is really looking for is defense this year. And Metta World Peace, Amon Shumpert, and Tyson Chandler are all going to bring that. Tim Hardaway was 2 for 2 in his debut with 2 assists. He hit a big three. He was open. The Knicks were kind of reeling at that point, and he was open for a spot up three. Nailed it. That was really good. J.R. Smith didn't play. He's suspended, so he should be coming back soon. The two did not play were Amari and Cole Aldrich. I would expect to see a lot of DNPs from Amari just because they're going to have to limit his minutes because he's not going to be able to play more than 20 minutes a game and last the whole season. Hell, if he plays more than 10 minutes a game and plays in over 60 games this year and he averages maybe like 12, 13 minutes a game, I'll be surprised. He's so injury prone. He's probably the most injury prone basketball player in the league. It's almost embarrassing, but it's not really his fault. It's more of a case where the body has failed the man than the man has failed the body. All the teammates love Amari. They speak of his work ethic and how much he wants to be on the court and how much he wants to be on the win. However, his knees just aren't going to hold up. So it really is Carmelo Anthony's team. On the other side, the Bucks, their point guard Brandon Knight got injured within the first couple minutes of the game, and it was evident that they really didn't have the point guard that they wanted running the offense. Luke Ridnour did not play with a sore back, so that left Nate Walters, someone who I had never heard of before, playing point guard. If not, they were playing point guard by committee. O.J. Mayo was bringing the ball up a lot. Also Larry Neal was a little bit also. Nate Walters, I mean, he looked like a rookie. He was very, he had a baby face. Yeah, he is a rookie. But it was pretty evident because the Bucks turned the ball over almost as much as the Knicks did. The Knicks at one point seemed like they turned the ball over at like 7 different possessions in a row, but the Bucks were equally as guilty. Only 2 players posted positive in the plus minus category. Caron Butler, a crafty veteran, played well for the Bucks. He had 14 points, shot over 50%, 4 rebounds. However, he had 7 turnovers, which was pretty characteristic of the way that the Bucks were playing. O.J. Mayo only had 13 points, shot 50%, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Zaza Pachulia had a double-double, 13 points and 11 rebounds. They were the kind of bright spots. Basically, everybody else did not show up. Larry Sanders was in foul trouble the whole game. He had 5 fouls within the first couple minutes of the third quarter, so he was very limited. And Gary Neal had 16 points. He shot a lot, though. He shot 6 for 16, and Gary Neal is not the kind of player that's going to be taking 16 shots and you're going to be winning consistently. The Knicks play the Bulls tonight. The Bulls lost to the Heat on opening night. I think it's definitely going to be a difficult matchup because Raymond Felton popped a hamstring last night, came out of the game for a little bit. He eventually did re-enter the game, but it does make you wonder how effective he's going to be tonight off of back-to-back games, which I hate, by the way. I think that the NBA season is long enough that you can space these games out so that you don't have to play back-to-back because it's unfair to the team coming off a day that they just played. The Knicks played 24 hours, will have only rested 24 hours before their next game, and the Bulls had a couple days rest. And there's going to be some players that you're not going to want to play too much on a back-to-back. Prigioni is not exactly a spring chicken. Metta World Peace, Kenyon Martin, although Martin only played 5 minutes, so it really shouldn't be a problem. All of these guys, your starters are playing 30 minutes, and then you got to play another 30 or so in the next game. And I think D Rose look healthy, and I think that he's gonna have a statement game, because they really didn't play too well against the Heat the other day. So I think that he's definitely going to be able to penetrate the Knicks defense, but the Knicks did play very good defense, so we'll see. I'm excited to watch this game tonight. We're going to take a quick break and talk about some Nets basketball as they lost to the Cavaliers last night. Is their experiment failing already? It's possible.
Hi, this is Carl Edwards here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You want to make a difference?